So you want to become a manga artist? Well, you're in luck because I'm going to share very useful information from my experience on how to get started and become a manga artist here in the United States. Let's get started. Japan, home to great food, culture, and some of the best animes of all time, such as Naruto, My Hero Academia, One Piece, and so much more. But you came here to learn about manga, right? Well, first, let me tell you who I am and why my experience being a manga artist in the United States matters in this video. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Chris Burns. I am the artist and creator of the manga Chikara Power of God, an indie shonen adventure set 500 years in the future of our own world. And here's where the how to become a manga artist video finally takes off. We're going to be breaking this video down into 3 steps, you guys. The 3 steps that you can take now at any age in the United States to become a manga artist. But I'm warning you, it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of hours, and a lot of networking. So bear with me, stay awake, and hopefully this helps you guys out a lot. So the first step that it takes to become a manga artist in the United States is research and create your story. I know, big duh, right? I already have a story. I research and create your story. And what I mean by that is you have to do a lot of research onto what story you want to make and what genre you want to make it in. Now, I'm sure all of you know that there are different genres for anything, whether it's movies, TV shows, comics, and of course manga. There are very popular genres to pick from in the manga and anime industry. The most popular, I would say, is shonen, slice of life, and shoujo. This is where the research comes in. What type of genre do you want your story to be? Do you want it to be action-packed fighting, shonen? Or do you want it to be calm and reflective of someone's life? Slice of life. Or romance. Do you want to write a love story? Horror. Do you want to write a horror like Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul? Do you want to write stuff like that? Research, guys. You have to research. Watch tons of anime, read tons of manga, see what you like and what you think you can achieve with your story. All right, along with the first step, which is researching, now you can start to develop your story. Once you've found what genre or what style of story you want to write your story. And show, I talk about this all the time with my students and people that are trying to get into this. Ask people to read your story, your summary or your one shot, whatever you created. Ask people, ask your friends, ask your family, ask strangers, because your family's going to tell you it's great because they're your family. Or you might have some honest people in your family that'll be like, this is terrible. I hope you do, because those help a lot. Ask your friends, because if your friends are equally into anime and manga, they're going to tell you whether your story is good or not, and they could see it and they could read it and be like, this could be really, really good. Ask your friends. Don't be ashamed of showing off your stuff. And then lastly, ask strangers, because strangers, they don't know you, they've never met you, they don't have an opinion of you, they're just reading solely on content and creativity, and they will be the most honest people you can get feedback from. So remember those: ask friends, family, and strangers. They'll never let you down unless all of them are just lying to your face. In that case, don't ask anybody to do what you want to do. I'm just kidding. Please ask them. Okay, tip number 2. Here comes the fun part. You gotta learn how to draw anime and manga. I know that's like a big well, of course I'm drawing anime and manga. Why else would I be here? What I'm saying is learn how to draw in your own style, but learn how to draw well. So let's dive into that a little bit more. So when I was learning how to draw anime and manga, of course I did fan art. For years I did fan art. And of course I had my other little OC characters here and there, but nothing finalized. That was just for fun. I studied a lot of Masashi Kishimoto, the creator of Naruto, and then I studied a lot of Oda from One Piece. And also, I'm pretty sure back in the day I did some Dragon Ball Z stuff too, just because that was the thing to draw back in elementary school. It was Dragon Ball Z stuff. So all of that combined was the foundation for what I'm doing now. And even now, guys, even though I'm already well into my 4th book and I'm working on illustrations, I still do studies of artists. I've studied a lot of I said Kishimoto already. Him, he's the GOAT. I studied him. He's the number 1. I studied a lot of Kohei Horikoshi, the creator of My Hero Academia. I studied him a lot before I did my first book, just because I love how Kohei conveyed these characters with these kind of whimsical and the anatomy, it's so just different, but also you can look at it and tell that it's anime. So you have to research and practice different styles in order to find your own. And once you find your own style, which takes a minute, don't rush finding your style. Draw, just keep drawing, it'll come. Once you find your style, then that's when I say you are ready to officially start putting pencil to paper and bringing your story that you wrote to life with art. All right, guys, we are on the third and final step. Final step, guys. Just kidding. It doesn't have to be the final step, but just for the video, it's the final step. So it's the final step here. So the third and final step, you guys have done all the great things. I'm proud of you. You've watched this video. That's the first thing you got to do. That's the hardest part. I'm just kidding. It's not. Trust me. This is the easiest part. But you guys have done all the steps. You've researched. You've picked your genre. You wrote this amazing story. Everyone's gonna love it. You've gotten really good at art. You've watched a lot of tutorial videos, a lot of them, and now you can draw just as good as Oda. I'm proud of you. But the biggest question: how are you gonna get all of your art, all of your story, into book form and sell it? That's the hardest part, guys. And we're going to talk about that because it's really not that hard once you know the terminology and information. So there's two ways of going about this, which people, it's a big question in the comic and manga industry for new creators and new people getting into this. How do I become published? I have my work. I've done so much work on this. I have the content, but how do I get published? But there's two ways you can get published. And that also makes the question, which way do I go in terms of how do I get out into the world and people see my stuff? So the first way that you can get your book into the market and get people to see it is by self-publishing. I know everybody's face literally was just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to self-publish because I'll never be famous. That is a lie. That is a lie that someone spread. It can happen. And I'm going to tell you guys how it can happen. The reason I bring up self-publishing first is because I self-publish. I'm a self-published author. I own all the rights to my stuff. I have my own brand, my own company, and I do everything myself. And I'm not saying that it's, easy. And I'm not saying that it's hard, but it is a lot more work, in my opinion, to be self-published because you have to create a very solid brand. You have to network like crazy, and you have to promote almost everything yourself. Nobody's doing it for you. But if you do those three things really, really well, then you can compete with somebody that might be under a publishing company or even go beyond that. So it's all about willpower and just learning the terminology and what you have to do. So which company do I self-publish with? Lulu.com or Amazon Kindle Publishing? Or A, B, and C of other companies that I've never published with, so I'm not sure. But which one do I publish with? So when I first got started working on my manga and got it finished, I started publishing with Lulu.com back in 2019. They are a really good publishing site because you can publish novels, comics, manga. It's literally whatever you create. And it's pretty much straightforward. You just upload your file as a PDF and they ask you what size, black and white, if it's color, hardback, if it's, matte finish, glossy finish, all of that. And then roughly within 24 to 72 hours, your book can be live and you can promote it. And it's there. It's promoted. It's published. You are now considered a published author with copyrights. Or Lulu has copyrights to your stuff, but you have copyrights to it. It's weird. Trust me, your stuff is safe going through Lulu.com. But you are now technically a published author. And you can now tell people, I am a published author, and feel really good about yourself. The second way to self-publish, which is what I do now, is through Amazon Kindle Publishing. Amazon Kindle Publishing is pretty much set up the exact same way as Lulu in terms of how to get your content into the website, all the settings to make it, and all that kind of stuff. But what I liked about Kindle Publishing is they have the option of doing ebooks and paperbacks. So it caters to both people that like to read on their devices, and it caters to people that actually like to have a hard copy and collection of a series. And again, once you officially have your book out on Amazon, whether it's an ebook or paperback, you are officially published. There's copyrights made, dates being made, all that fun stuff. So that way, if anybody has anything to say or you stole my work or whatever, you can go back and be like, well, I published my book on this date. and here's artwork to prove, me working on my stuff, A, B, and C, all that. I'm not getting into copyright and all that stuff. Just make sure you guys have your stuff protected, dated, and stored away. So, self-publishing can be beneficial to you as a manga creator. You hold all the rights to your stuff. You can do whatever you want with the story, even if it's bad. You can do whatever you want to the story, and no one's going to tell you anything. That can also be bad, obviously, but we'll get into that. But self-publishing is not a bad idea if you're just getting started and you just want to show people what you're working on, whether it's a full series or it's a one-shot. If you just want to make like your first manga, just to say, I did this at some point in my life, and you want to show your grandchildren, you have that option too. Or if you're, writing a full series like I am, you have that option too. It's not hard to self-publish. The hardest part is getting people to see it. And that's where promoting comes in. So I went to school for graphic design and brand design as well. So I was trained on how to come up with brand design, to know color theory, to do animations, motion graphics, commercials, all that stuff. So I was blessed to go to school and do that and learn that for myself, so that way I can make a really good brand, have a really good logo, and a really good overall design for my series. That way it looks already like it's famous, even though I'm not famous. I don't think I'm famous. I mean, some people think that I am, and like this stuff. I don't think that I'm famous, guys, but I appreciate the people that do. So if you guys are going the self-publishing route, I need you guys to learn how to have good design and brand design. Because if you're in the middle of a convention or in the middle of a street and someone can look at you in the midst of thousands of other people and see your work and it stands out, that's what you want. You want people to see it, catch their eye, and have really good overall design. And it goes a long way, trust me. If you have really good brand design, people will buy your stuff because it already looks like it's professional and that it's already popular. Okay, so the second part of publishing is a publishing company. Obviously, that's like the main dream of any comic and manga creator, getting picked up by their favorite publishing company, whether it's from Japan or whether it's from a branch here in America. They want to get picked up. They want their art to be recognized by a big company that has put out big series, like Naruto, Attack on Titan, Bleach, Black Clover, big titles, like my manga is in the same category as, Bleach, or in the same magazine as Bleach. That is a dream. And I'm not saying, don't go for that dream, because if you have a really good story and really good art, it's not impossible, especially now in this day and age where manga is being made by anybody. You don't have to be Japanese anymore just to make manga. You can make it, and it's so diverse now. Go for it. If that's your goal, I'm not saying don't go for it. Go for that if you know that you can do it. But in terms of publishing companies here in the United States, who do you go for? Do you go for somebody that is a publishing company based in the United States? Or do you try to outreach and send your stuff to companies in Japan like Viz, that I know Viz does? You can submit to Viz, and other companies do it too over in Japan, where you can submit your story and possibly get it into Shonen Jump or into a magazine or a competition. Which one's easier? Which one's better to do? And the answer to that question, guys, is it's completely up to you. That answer really is completely up to you, I'm telling you. If you want to go for a big company like Viz and you want to submit your work, they have options to do so. Go for it. All power to you. I hope you get in. That would be really, really cool. But if you're in the United States and maybe you don't want your stuff to be in Japan, maybe you want your stuff to be anime and manga, but here in the United States, who do you go with? Well, this is where the plug comes in for the video, because I have a company for you guys that can do just that. This company is called Saturday AM, and I'm sure a lot of you know that name. So Saturday AM is an American-based manga and comics publishing company. Right out of North Carolina. Pretty sure, North or South Carolina. It's a Carolina. They're just around the corner from me. But yeah, guys, seriously, if you guys want a great experience full of diversity and just overall a really good company and family to work with your story, check out Saturday AM. They have competitions like Summer of Manga, where you can submit your one-shot story and possibly get put into their magazine. It's just a great experience. And they also, even if you don't get put into the magazine right away, the company works with you to even help you develop your story. Like if you pitch your one shot and there's things you can change, they will tell you what to change and how to make it better. So they're very honest people, and they really want to see you succeed in the manga and comic industry. But it is a place here in the United States that if you want your work in a magazine and to be just around other manga artists that are doing what you're doing, it's the Shonen Jump of America, people. I don't even know how to, that's an understatement, because Saturday AM is pretty cool in my opinion, and I think it's a little bit cooler than Shonen Jump, because of how diverse it is. And of course, there's other publishing companies here in the States. I'm not saying that Saturday AM is the only one, but just in my opinion, and I'm biased because I work with them, go check out Saturday AM. I don't think you guys will be disappointed in the quality of artwork, the greatness of the company, and just how diverse and loving that family of people is. And alright guys, that is my tips on how to become a manga artist here in the States. Very simple, very straightforward. Anybody can do it. You just have to have willpower. You have to just know yourself and know what you want, and just plan, promote, and just have fun. Because this industry is really fun. It's stressful, yeah, because it's a job, but it's fun. If you love to draw and you love to create, it's not a job. It's just you're doing what you love until 5 a.m. in the morning. If you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, leave a comment in this video. I'll be happy to get back to you, or shoot me a message on my Instagram. You know, it's wherever you feel more comfortable reaching out to me. I'm always willing to respond and answer questions, and, you know, just kind of help you guys too, because we're all in this together. I'm a creator just like you, and you know, you might have tips for me that I might not even know. So definitely reach out if you guys have any information or any questions you want to ask. If you guys want to check out my series, all the links are in the description below. Chikara has up to 3 volumes for paperback and ebook. We have animations, we have OSTs now for music, we have cloves, we have a lot, and we're only getting bigger. And I'm excited to say that I'm currently working in book 4, and it's just, man, I'm excited. You guys, if you've read the series, you already know, but if you haven't, hop on it. We have free chapters out on Webtoons to read, and we also have 2 free episodes out that voice actors and fans put together of chapter 1 of my series and chapter 4, so you guys can visually see what my art and story look like, but also hear what characters sound like, which I think is pretty cool, because I'm still so excited just because they did a great job, and just I never thought that this would be happening to me, you know, in 2019, coming up with this story. You know, a couple of years later, fans are actually making videos about my stuff. I just think that's cool. But that's all from me from this video. I really hope it helped you guys. Please check out some of my other stuff. I have tutorials, I have videos on my YouTube where I go more in depth on certain skills. If you're learning how to draw manga and want tips and stuff for like hair design, clothes design, Copic marker stuff, you know, Clip Studio stuff, I have tons of tutorials, so go check those out. But anyway guys, stay cool, keep drawing, and I can't wait to see what you guys create for the next generation of manga artists. So peace!